Donkeys, horses, mules. They all get taught the same way at my place. And no, it doesn't start in the saddle.
Keep watching to see Famous Seamus and Wild Donkey Ah go cattle sorting.
If you're pulling on the rein and they're not turning, you're already behind. If you're into real world donkey training without the drama, hit that like button. It helps more people find this kind of teaching.
Today's video is requested from a subscriber. Thanks for reaching out.
At TrainingWildBurros, we like to start with clarity, not pressure. Watch where I place the rope and how I reward every try. There's a lot of groundwork that happens before I ever get under saddle, and here I'm working with something scary to a tarp. You gotta love these airplane ears. Do you have good airplane ears, huh? Do you have good nervous? Yeah. If you've ever wondered why your donkey gets stuck when turning, this next is probably the reason why. All of this stuff has to be taught. This is Holler, a 1-year-old. Now the young ones, they don't have a big attention span, and she is in your space. She loves to be next to you. She really doesn't have any fear, but all of this has to be taught. So we're going to start going all the way back to the basics, just doing a circle. Now she doesn't even know how to lead yet. She loves people, but maybe your donkey is acting like Holler here. She has the most mournful hee-haw. It's pretty comical. But if you're starting off, you're going to go slow. Start from the beginning. With donkeys, especially, rewarding every single try is going to help make a yes donkey, yes mule, or horse. So lots of rewards. They can be just short little breaks for a few seconds and then ask again. Now, after we can get them to clear the front, we're going to start doing circles. When you first start to ask for your circles, you're only going to ask for a step or two in the direction that you want to go, and then give them another reward. Say, good job, right? And if they are not able to stop, we can help them, kind of block them and help them. And we're going to keep building off from everything that we teach them. When you first start to get circles, they're not going to be really in the shape of a circle, and we'll build on that also. But even a sloppy circle is a step in the right direction. Now you're going to see where I start to ask her to roll her hind. So watch here real careful. I'm going to slide my hand down the lead rope. My flag goes up. And then I'm walking towards her feet. And just barely, she's starting to do it. There. Okay, so that's the first step of teaching them to turn. So you can see how far back. She hardly even leads right now. Really, she doesn't lead. And then lots of oochie-goochies. We're going to talk about that a lot. Later on, all of this is really going to transfer under saddle. This is some of Valhalla and Honk's first rides. We're having a race to see who could get across the wild pen first. Want behind the scenes training videos like this one? Tap join to become a channel member. When you're working on teaching your donkey to turn, you're going to start off being prepared for it to be sloppy, and then later on it's going to look very graceful. So we're going to ask them to clear the front. There, she did it. She's a little delayed, but she's doing okay. And then we're going to direct her with our lead rope, ask for a circle. And right now she's hesitant because she's nervous about the tarp. I've been working here with getting her to go on the tarp. So if your donkey is nervous about something, expect them to do differently than when they're all calm and doing something in a familiar area or something they're confident with. So there, I'm moving her away from me with her front. And then we're going to form our circle. Our goal is to break down all these steps into baby steps. Think of how a baby needs to be able to hold up its head before it can sit up or roll over, and all the things, all the steps that they have to do before it walks. The same thing is true for a donkey. We're going to break all these steps down, and that's why we're doing this with a halter right now and not a bit in their mouth. Now, before we put that bit in their mouth and actually ask questions, we're going to let them get used to holding that bit and just comfortable, right? Because we don't want to make too many new things at one time if we can avoid it. Whenever we can break down the steps, it will go more seamless. Let me know in the comments if your donkey gets different with the saddle. You're not alone. This is where I used to get stuck too.
adding the saddle and trying to do this all again, I'd change the feel and they'd lose the try. Now I take time to help them understand nothing has changed. Now we always want to get to the mind first, and we don't want to ask them to turn their head too far, because if they do and you're on their back, they just might fall down onto you. I've had it happen, guys. It wasn't my proudest moment. I wasn't trying to do it, but it happened 2 days in a row, and I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? At the beginning of the clinic, we saddle up and we practice moving the front end and the hind end. So there I am practicing away. I ask Ah to turn her head, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she falls to the ground. Wild Donkey Ah falling down on me happened at a Ty Evans clinic. Ty Evans is my mentor. Imagine my surprise when he said, now you can teach your viewers on your YouTube channel how to make your donkey fall over like in the Old West movies. Imagine my surprise. I didn't even know that he was aware I had a YouTube channel. Right now, what I'm doing is trying to get to her mind. I don't want to just grab that rein and pull as hard as I can to get her to turn. I want her to be willing to do this. I want her to be a willing partner with what we're going to do. I need to build to trust her, but she also needs to build to trust me. So I'm asking for her to flex, and I've not been asking for her to move her hind yet because she's been a little stiff. But when I do get ready to move the hind, and you'll be able to see it better on the other side, I'm going to take that stirrup and I'm going to bump, 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 bump till she moves her hind end over. And we're going to practice this a lot before I get under the saddle. We want to make sure they understand all of the cues, all of the steps before we ever get on their back. That's only fair, and it will make this more resistant free. The next step here is going to be for me to bump, bump, bump. I'm going to hold the rein where it is to keep her flexed. And then I'm going to grab that stirrup, bump, 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 and watch her back foot step over. There she goes. Beautiful. Are you liking this kind of step-by-step training? You can support our herd and see extra videos when you join as a member. Get extra training help and behind-the-scenes perks. Join as a member today.
Before we ask for a single step, we ask for the mind. If I pick up that rein and she braces or resists, I'm not going to ask her for feet yet. I wait. I hold steady. I don't pull harder. I just give her a chance to think through the ask. The moment I feel her soften just a little, I release. That soft flex tells me I have her mind. And once I have her mind, then I can ask for her feet. But if her mind is stiff, the feet will be stiff. And if you push a stiff donkey through the turn, you're building resistance. So we wait. We reward softness, and then we ask. If this helped you think about training differently, consider joining as a member for deeper videos like this one. Even my old gelding Stormy, who's 25 now, reminds me of this. He knows his job. But if I forget and I pull on the rein instead of picking it up gently, he gets frustrated and starts chomping at the bit. When this happens, I have to think to myself, what am I doing wrong? Because it's not his personality to get upset. It's not because he doesn't know what to do, but because I didn't ask right. That's when I realize, again, it's not about the cue, it's about the conversation. Here's what not to do. This is the fastest way to break trust. And yes, I've made every one of these mistakes myself. You learn and you adjust. If you love what we're doing here, check out our merch. Every shirt, hat, or mug supports the herd.
Keep watching. Up next, we're going to have cattle sorting with Famous Seamus and Wild Donkey Ah. Now, if you've been following along with their journey, Ah's a pretty nervous donkey, so you're going to have to watch to see how she does. And Famous Seamus, he's been there and done that with so many things, but this will be his first time cattle sorting. When you're teaching your donkey how to turn, imagine that you're going to have some sessions, that's all you do. You hop on and maybe you're on for 5 minutes or maybe you're on for an hour. But at the beginning, You're going to really practice these moves, moving all 4 feet individually. Later on, this is going to come in handy when you are on a trail ride or at a silly gaming event. So practice, lots and lots of practice. Now you don't have to practice this in an arena. It can be on the trail. It's wherever you're at. Ask them a number of times to move their individual feet, all 4 of them, when you ask. Practice it on the ground and then practice it under saddle.
I was so lucky I got to go cattle sorting with Seamus, famous Seamus, and Wild Donkey Ah.
Now, famous Seamus at home has been getting into the cattle. He seems to be enjoying them, and he seems to be able to make them move even with a fence between them. So I was pretty excited to bring Seamus there and see how he would do sorting cattle. We've never done this before, so I have no idea what to expect. But when these cattle move away from him, Seamus doesn't care. It was just like, yeah, I know I made you do that. Where other donkeys there at home are running because they're afraid. The first time I ever tried cattle sorting was last year, and I did it with wild donkeys, Grace and Valhalla. And oh my gosh, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but my mind filled with all these horrible thoughts. I was wearing a short sleeve shirt, and I was worried I was going to fall off, and I was going to get trampled by the cattle. My arms were going to be all cut up. I was so scared. And maybe that was because I had fallen off on Grace as she was chasing down a cattle like the same month kind of a thing. So it just shook up my confidence a little bit last year. And this year I went in, I had no fear. With Seamus, I totally trust him. I know what to expect. Even if he was misbehaving, I know what to expect. And with Ah, I just felt pretty darn confident that we could go slow at her pace. This was such a good time. If you ever get the opportunity to go and play with cattle sorting, I highly, highly recommend that you do it.
Now, Wild Donkey Ah, she was so scared, she wouldn't walk into the arena. She's been in that arena so many times, but we helped her through it step by step. If you're training a donkey that's nervous or unsure, let me know below. I'll cheer you on. Start small, stay consistent, praise every try. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to show up. And if you want to go deeper, check out the members only videos. We'd love to have you. Like, subscribe, and join the herd. You'll be part of something real here.
Thank you so much for joining me today with this video requested from a subscriber about how to get your donkey to turn. Now, what you can do with turning your donkey is endless, whether you're on the trail or sorting cattle.